Hello, everybody. Welcome to this special episode of Beware the Board, a horror podcast where we watch a randomly selected horror movie every single week. Happy birthday, Ben!
Yeah, thank you.
Woo! That's Ben. I'm
Yeah.
Bob.
This is a birthday episode for me.
Yeah!
Because my birthday was last month in November.
Yeah, we just didn't have time to record it.
Yeah.
So this is coming out sometime in December.
At least we're doing it this year. Last year, we just didn't do them for either of us.
Last year we got to I don't know. It was after my birthday.
March, April.
And you were like, we should
do birthday episodes.
birthday episodes, and I went, you could have told. Well, the thing is, we'd also started the podcast, I think, No, we'd been doing the podcast for a while.
Yeah. We started in October.
Like a month.
Anyways, we didn't do it last year. So this is the first year we're doing it. So Bob will have a birthday episode.
In my birthday month.
In a couple
of June.
months.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to do a movie. The whole plan here is it's dealer's choice. I get to pick.
Yeah.
When
it's your birthday.
Bob's birthday comes around, he gets to pick a movie.
I already know what movie, and I'm so excited.
It's the movie we were going to do last year, but then we didn't do birthday episodes.
Yeah.
So,
What's
Bob,
this one changed?
yes.
Do you want to tell everyone what your original pick was? Because I
So,
think this is interesting.
Originally, my pick was going to be Candyman
Yeah.
because I was like, that's a big film. I don't know when it's going to go on the board. Maybe do it for my birthday. And I've since decided to wait
Mm-hmm.
because I think having a category that would be, let's say, Candyman related would be a lot more interesting than to just do it for my birthday. And instead, there was kind of a film I was like, I'm not going to be able to get it on the board anytime soon, and I really want to show it to Bob. So I was like, isn't this just a great opportunity to show that to him? Now, I've already been given hints to Bob about what film we're watching today. And Bob, do you know?
I hope it's not actually the movie I'm thinking of.
And what is that?
It's called, I'm pretty sure it's just called The Society.
It's not The Society. It's Society.
It's just called Society.
Yeah. And, well, Bob, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we're not watching Society.
Thank God. Oh, my God. Are you serious? Okay, before we get into what the actual movie is, the reason I'm terrified of Society,
Nothing specific. Don't spoil it.
yes, it's a gross, grotesque body horror film.
Yep. I've shown Bob one scene from that, and Bob has seen one scene from that on Twitter.
And I said no.
Yeah, because I showed a scene to it from Bob before we started the podcast, and I was like, oh, you want to go watch Society? It'll make you cry. And you were like, what is that? And I showed him a picture. He was like, no.
No, yeah, I just can't do body horror stuff. It's gross.
Yeah, it's probably the most body horror film I can think of, besides, The Thing.
Yeah, which I like that movie.
No, so we're not watching Society today. Instead, we're going to be watching a film that I think's a lot of fun.
Okay.
But I have no clue when I would put it on the board otherwise.
This scares me, Ben.
It shouldn't, because you're going to have a lot of fun.
Okay.
Today we were watching Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
What the fuck is this? This is not what I expected at all. What the
No,
hell is
it's
this
not.
thing?
It's,
What the hell?
It's Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, baby.
Well, what about the first two?
3!
Okay. The reason I'm laughing is because this is not what I expected. If you've listened to the podcast for a while, you would know this about Ben. You have a very specific taste in films, and I kind of expecting something a little bit more highbrow than Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Oh, no, this is not highbrow at all. This is actually the opposite of highbrow. I was like, you know what? I want to watch a fun film for my birthday. Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 is a lot of fun. I own a Blu-ray of it.
Oh my god.
Because it's actually kind of hard to find. You can't stream it anywhere.
Oh really?
You can video on demand it on the website, or you can buy a Blu-ray. So
Okay.
I own a Blu-ray for it. It's a lot of fun. But I was like, what the heck am I gonna put Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 on the fucking podcast? What category do I put that in? And I was eventually like, nowhere. So fuck it. We're doing it for the birthday.
That's awesome. Oh thank God.
But we're gonna have a lot of fun.
I'm excited about
A
this
lot
one.
of fun. So it came out in 2015.
Oh, it's actually wow.
So it's fairly recent.
Okay.
What were you expecting? The 80s?
No.
90s?
I was expecting 2008 or something.
Oh, okay. You ready for the description?
Sure.
Time to watch a movie, Burger Bro.
Burger Bro. Oh God. Okay. Sorry, I just looked over and saw that and got I had
both
flashbacks.
made Bob laugh and hurt him at the same time.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Bob really hates Bob's Burgers.
I
So
hate it.
Bob's,
For good reason, I
Bob's
think.
Bob. Get it?
Yeah.
Length, it's an hour and 31 minutes long.
That's, you know what? I was kind of expecting either a really short one or a super long one.
What?
The fact that it's a normal length movie is pretty great.
The real horrors, we're watching Lawrence of Arabia.
No, it's like 4 hours. No.
It's not rated.
Oh, that's even better.
I think that's mostly because they didn't want to pay for a rating.
That's the best reason to not be rated.
Because I think they probably couldn't afford it, but, that's a separate issue. Review scores, IMDb gave it a 6.0 out of 10.
That's way higher than I expected.
Tomato meter is a 94%.
Oh my god!
And the audience score is a 76%.
Holy shit.
It has 2 wins and 1 nomination for awards.
Whoa.
This is going to be really, really weird, so I'm sorry about it.
Okay.
There's no notable actors. None.
What?
And the reason for this is twofold. A, I didn't want to tell you any of the actors or characters because I think it's more fun for everything to be a surprise.
Okay.
Both because there's some interesting character names that are just funny and some actors you'll know in this film.
Oh, wow.
And also, it's my birthday, and I kind of wanted to be lazy because there's so many people in this film.
You know what? You get a pass.
All right. There's a couple directors.
Okay.
Tom Jacobson, Michael Rousselet, and John Salmon. And they all worked on 5-second films. Are you familiar with that?
That sounds really familiar. What is that?
It should. 5-second films is a comedy troupe that started on YouTube, and their whole thing is they do a 5-second film every day.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
5 seconds is not a lot of time, but that's a lot of effort.
And going with a similar kind of theme here, there's also a lot of writers.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the whole troupe contributed to this film.
Oh
or
my
at least
God.
the whole troupe at the time this film came out. The writers are Alec Owen, Ben Gigley, Ryan Frenzy, John Salmon, Joey Scoma, Michael E. Peter, Michael Rousselet, Mike James, Timothy Cinciancio, and Tom Jacobson.
Oh my God. 3 mics in one writing team.
Yeah, that's everyone who has writing credits. I will say the screenplay credit goes to Alec Owen, though. Everyone else has writing, including him, but he has the screenplay credit.
Okay.
Budget is estimated at $241,000.
I thought this movie was made for $2,400 for a second.
No.
I thought we had bottomed out at Thanksgiving.
Oh, no.
And I thought this was lower, and
No,
I was
this
like, there's no way.
Much better film. No, $241,000.
That's still not a lot of money.
No, it isn't.
For making a movie, that's not a lot of money.
But they do a good job with it, I will say. No box office information because this was released video on demand.
Yeah.
And stuff after it screened at film festivals. Country of origin, United States. Tagline, you ready for this?
Okay.
Don't let a bro see it alone.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This film's a lot of fun. Okay, so there's some interesting information I want to give you before we get into this.
Okay.
Because I think the story behind this film is really unique. So, like I said, this film's made by the comedy troupe 5-second films. So they're over on YouTube if you're ever interested in checking them out. But this film specifically is actually based on one of their shorts. So they had a short, I want to say it's much older than this film. I don't think it's 2008, but it's I think it's in the 2010s. But that short was a trailer for Dude Bro Party Massacre.
Oh my God.
And so this is Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. And the joke is that Dude Bro Party and Dude Bro Party 2 we're just not going to see them.
They just exist.
Yeah. They just don't exist. So we're watching Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. As for what this film is, though, it is essentially a parody of the Massacre franchise. Which if you're
Slumber Party Massacre?
Yeah, so if you're not so familiar with the Massacre franchise, the Massacre franchise is actually 3 different series that are kind of connected.
I had no idea.
The Slumber Party Massacre series, which you know, Sorority House Massacre, and Cheerleader Massacre.
Okay.
And all 3 of those together, I don't think they necessarily created it, but they did popularize the idea of a bunch of over-sexualized women being hunted by a killer.
Oh, but this is Frat Bros.
And this is a parody where it's frat bros instead of sorority girls.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's pretty fun. Going back to the budget, I know you said it's kind of low. $240,000. It's not a lot. I mean, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
For a movie, it's not. However, the cool thing here is they got those funds through Kickstarter.
Oh, that's super sick.
This was all crowdfunded.
That's really cool.
And for the early 2010s, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know? So I just wanted to mention that really quick. And then the last thing I want to mention is, like, the writing behind this film. So the film, like I said, was written by a bunch of people, like the whole comedy troupe. And how they did that is each person came on as a writer, and the only restriction they had is they couldn't collaborate with each other while writing. So each person wrote what they thought should go in the movie, and then Alec Owen took all those different, like, pieces that everyone wrote and then assembled them into one screenplay.
That's fucking nuts.
And then he sat down and polished that into the finished screenplay. And then once he had that and they actually started filming, there was additionally, like, a ton of improv. Because it's a comedy troupe, you know?
That's fucking insane.
So this movie's a little crazy. But there is kind of an ideal theme that Owens was going for. So he has said that Dude Bro was a reaction to how glorified objectionable behavior is in some of these films. You know, we're referencing the Massacre franchise here.
Yeah.
And his goal was to write a sort of feminist film that was designed to purposely fail the Bechdel test in order to satirize the sexism that dominated the genres.
This movie, the more we talk about it, the more insane it sounds.
So yeah, it's wild. It's a good time. It's totally a spoof movie, but I think we're going to have a great, great time today.
No, I'm so excited. Like, maybe I don't sound excited. I'm very tired. I'm very, very excited about this one.
Yeah.
Thank God we're not watching Society. I was ready to claw my eyes out.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. See you guys in a minute. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We just finished watching Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Yeah. You got it.
It's a fucking mouthful, this title.
Nah, you just go Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. Gotta be
It's
pumped
a
about
lot.
it. It helps. What do you think?
It might be the most unhinged, insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. It's a bunch of nonsense tied
It's
together.
absolute nonsense.
But it's a good time, right?
No, it's funny, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's the most, like, we talked about it. You said this was made by, like, people who do, like, sketch comedy stuff on YouTube. It's the most sketch comedy horror movie bullshit thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, and I think that's because of how it was written. We talked about it, where, like, they all wrote individual, like, assumedly each person wrote a bunch of gags they thought should be in the film,
Yeah.
and then one dude tied it together.
And all the gags made it.
In fact, there's a joke about that in the movie where
Yeah.
two of the characters are like, doesn't matter, this movie doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And they're standing with the writer in between them, and he hits one of them. He's like, dude.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
With that being said, though, yeah, it's a good time, and you can really tell they tried.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of love that went into this. For how inane the whole film is, it's all tied together pretty well.
No, yeah, it's all loosely tied together under one story.
Yeah, I just meant more like there's a bunch of, like, really shitty gags, right? But they're all tied together with actual, like, background information for the characters.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So many running jokes.
That's what I was about to say is there's a lot of really, really good, interesting follow-through stuff that you don't expect from a movie like this that is absolute nonsense that all comes back around in the most unexpected, ridiculous, stupid way possible.
I really think that's what makes what is essentially a bunch of random gags and stuff work.
Yeah.
It's
It's
the follow-through.
the most well-written, also horribly written piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Exactly. This is what you want from a cheesy bad movie.
No, exactly, yeah.
With that being said, though, I'm going to do a brief description,
Okay.
or at least try. And I'm going to do broad strokes, and it's going to make this movie sound competent. But keep in mind what we just said. So the plot is relatively simple. We're starting off after Dude Bro Massacre 1 and 2 because I think I said this at the beginning, but Dude Bro Massacre 1 and 2 aren't real films, but for the context of Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, they have happened. And so the beginning of this film is a framing narrative doing a brief rundown of the best kills of Dude Bro Party Massacre and Dude Bro Party Massacre 2.
Yeah, I mean, they set it up for you.
Yeah. So there's a little brief rundown if you haven't seen those movies, since they are lost to time. But the basic plot here is that one of the Dude Bros, the main lead Dude Bro of Dude Bro Party Massacre and Dude Bro Party Massacre 2, his name's Brock.
Nope.
Yes. And Brock
Are you sure?
dies
I thought
right
Brent,
at the beginning of this
I thought
movie.
it was Brent. Did I get them mixed up?
Yes, for once I know the names.
Damn.
So yeah, Brock dies at the very, very beginning of this film. Brock is essentially the cold open kill. And because of his death, his twin brother, his identical twin brother, Brent, comes to town to like investigate his brother's death because he thinks it's like suspicious, and he's basically under the belief that Brock was probably murdered. And so Brent decides to join Delta Pi. That is the fraternity that his brother was in, and like the heart of the Dude Bro parties. And so yeah, Brent joins Delta Pi, and eventually Delta Pi gets sent to a old sorority house on the lake.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the killer from Dude Bro Party and Dude Bro Party Massacre 2 begins to hunt down the remaining Delta Pi members. And her name is Motherface.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the basic premise.
Very classic slasher premise.
Yeah, in fact, there's a lot of things in this film that are very, very clearly homages
Oh, absolutely.
to other movies. They're so loose, though, that it's sometimes hard to notice.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, Motherface is Leatherface.
Yeah, clearly.
But if you're not really thinking about it, it's just like, whoop, over your head.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, I think we can just get into describing some of this film. I don't know how much we're going to actually touch on because so much of this film is, like, nonsensical.
It's all bullshit.
However,
the whole film is bullshit.
Yeah, it is. However, there is a couple, like, big things that I think stand out for me because I think they're very funny and are more, like, technical. So they are worth talking about here. First and foremost, one of the first things you'll know if you, like, watch this video or this movie, whatever you want to call it, is that the quality's really shitty.
It's so bad.
It's so bad because part of the framework for this whole movie is that the Dude Bro Party Massacre franchise was banned by Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan banned it.
And so the only film that has survived is Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 because a teenager recorded it at like 4 a.m. on his VCR, and that's the copy we're watching.
Yeah.
Which actually causes there to be commercial breaks.
Yeah. The
And-
commercials are really funny.
Yes, there's little snippets, like someone badly edited them out,
Yeah.
but they're there. And because of that whole framework, there is a like shitty VHS filter over the whole movie,
And it's in 4:3.
and it's in 4:3. I just want to say I think it's such a great touch.
No, it is when you take into account what they were going for. But the movie started and I went, no fucking way this whole movie's in 4:3.
It makes everything look shitty in the best way possible.
Oh my god. I can't imagine watching this normally.
In fact, there's like a little bar of distortion at the very bottom.
Like there's like weird cuts. and,
yeah,
like,
like
it's all fuzzy.
the VCR was fucked up. And, you know, that is a stylistic thing, but I do think there is an option to watch it without that on the
I'm gonna
Blu-ray.
say right now, I don't think you should.
And
I don't leave it in.
I don't think you should because, A, this is how the film's intended.
Yep.
But also, it's a part of the charm of how shitty
It is
this
absolutely
film
a part
looks.
of the charm of this film. 100%. I thought I was gonna be mad about it by the end of the movie. No, leave it in. It's
No,
perfect. I love
it's
it.
so great. It fits all the, like, shitty effects.
Oh god, it's so good.
With that being said, it does look good if you, like, look at some of the footage with that removed.
Really.
I've never watched it without the filter there because I just like the filter so much. I think it fits the tone of this and also the whole background of the film.
Mm-hmm.
But that is available and it does look good. They shot with a good camera and everything. So I just wanted to mention that. Next thing I want to talk about is the soundtrack for this movie. They couldn't pay for real songs, so they made their own.
Is that what all that music was? I had no idea where that shit was from, but I was like, what is that? What am I hearing?
They made their own music for this movie. Very obviously, because there's a bunch of, like, songs with lyrics in this film. as like the soundtrack, and all of the songs are like nonsense 80s pop.
Yeah.
There's one song that plays a couple times that's just cleaning up, and that's the only lyric. There's another song where at one point the singer starts singing about, what am I singing right now?
It's so stupid.
And there's just so much dumb stuff like that.
It's so
Just little stuff.
nonsense.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because like little touches like that, like the soundtrack are in there. And while you wouldn't normally think to have something like done like that, you know, custom music that is a part of the humor, it really does carry some of the film.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole
It helps.
montage at one point to music, the cleaning up song. And it really does make that scene work because otherwise it's just not great.
No.
So that's pretty good. What else is there? There's some cameos.
Yeah, the cameos are funny.
Lots of really good cameos if you know, especially YouTube people,
Yeah.
because, you know, the 5 seconds films, people were mostly into YouTube. But there's some bigger actors that we see pop on screen. I think the biggest actor on here, and he does only a little bit of a cameo, but is worth mentioning, is Larry King.
Is in this movie.
Is in this movie.
He came on screen and I went, I know who that is, but I don't know his name.
You're like, who is that?
I was like, he's mega famous. I've seen him a billion places.
Peyton Oswalt is also in this.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of him, which is like a weird thing.
Him being in it's funny because he actually like has a bigger role and is like actually a recurring character throughout the film.
So I thought that's an interesting mention, and I think that's definitely a good lead up into the fact that, you know, I skipped, you know, notable actors for this film.
Yeah.
Partially because I wanted to leave it as a surprise, but also because all characters in this movie have such ludicrous names.
Oh my god, their names are fucking insane.
In the best way possible. In fact, I think that's probably the funniest part of most of these characters. It's just how stupid
fucking
their names are.
Turbo?
Yeah, so there's one character named Turbo who is hyper aggressive and insecure at the same time.
He's fucking insane.
Which is very funny, honestly. Turbo's very funny.
Turbo's pretty funny.
Not as in like I'm laughing with him, but more because I'm laughing at him.
I'm not even laughing at Turbo. I'm just going, Turbo, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, he's just a maniac.
He's
But
a fucking maniac.
his name isn't spelled like Turbo.
No, absolutely not.
What is it? It's like
T-A-U.
I don't think it's
No,
T-A-U.
no.
I think it's
T-U-R-B-E-A-U-X.
Yeah. Turbeaux.
Yeah.
Turbo. There's one character named Sizzler.
Sizzler's pretty great.
Let's see. I mean, Motherface we already talked about. C-Trunk.
Oh, I forgot about C-Trunk. Jesus fucking Christ.
Samsy. T-O-double-D.
Yeah, good old Todd.
Todd.
has a normal name.
Turtleneck Bro.
Turtleneck.
Flannel Bro.
Samantha.
Dean Pepperstone. Yeah, just a bunch of
Ludicrous names.
ludicrous names. And
We haven't even talked about maybe the most ludicrous.
yeah. Do you want to take it?
No, you can have it.
All right, so there's actually two names that I think are really, really ludicrous. Candace Buttiker.
Oh, well, there is Candace Buttiker. And Sminkle.
And her partner, Officer Sminkle,
I wasn't even talking about
who
them.
are two cops in this movie and have this whole B plot while the Dude Bros are
my
doing their
God.
Dude Bros stuff.
It's a complete... It has nothing to do with anything until the end.
It has nothing to do with the whole movie.
It just cuts away from the action to go see what Sminkle's up to.
Yep, but it somehow ties together the ending of this film, and it's about oranges.
Orange adjacent, I guess.
Who were you thinking of?
Nedry.
Oh, yeah.
Nedry Cheesehead.
Yeah, but Nedry's a real name. Nedry's the guy, he's the heavyset man from Jurassic Park.
His name is Nedry.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a real name. It can still be ludicrous.
I think that's Nedry's name.
Nedry Cheesehead.
Now, Cheesehead is a joke, yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's fucking ridiculous.
He lost his legs to wolves,
Yeah.
even though you can clearly see them. But yeah, honestly, it's kind of hard to talk about this film because so much of it is just inane jokes.
It's an experience for sure. And it's like an experience that you can't explain to someone because you need to see it. Like, you have to experience it in one go or none of it makes any goddamn sense.
Because it's just all what the fuck. In fact,
there's so many just running bullshit jokes. Like the Ronald Reagan bit is like a whole thing.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of this movie. Throughout the film, there's just random Ronald Reagan memorabilia.
It's like
everywhere.
Ronald Reagan propaganda.
Which is the joke of, that's why Ronald Reagan banned the franchise.
Yeah.
It's because they're making fun of him. Another running joke is the Dude Bros have a yearly prank. And every year it's more and more egregious.
I'm going to put it out here. The Dude Bros are terrorists.
Oh, they've killed
They're
so
a
many
terrorist
people.
organization.
But freshman year, they deposed a South American dictator.
Yeah. But that was for Ronald Reagan.
So yeah, there's just so much like what the fuck stuff. Again, it is tied together by like running jokes. Like they keep referencing I think it's the sophomore year prank.
Which is just them and Nam.
No one knows what happens. They don't really explain it, but you just hear war sounds.
It's definitely Vietnam.
And
absolutely is
Samsy
Vietnam.
100% has PTSD.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, a bunch of nonsense. However, one of the big tie-togethers for this film, and we talked about it kind of at the beginning, is how much this film like over-sexualizes all the Dude Bros.
Oh my god, they're constantly ripping their shirts off.
The shirt budget on this film must be insane.
It must be immense.
There's multiple scenes where I watch a person put on a shirt just to rip it off in the next second. And you know what? It's really funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. I
know that's sometimes a thing that might make some people uncomfortable. You know, that's just how some people are. But it's very obviously a play on, you know, the Massacre series, the Massacre franchise, where they over-sexualize the women in it.
Oh my god.
And so this is scene for scene sometimes doing the same thing with the Dude Bros. The most evident example of that, besides the fact that everyone keeps losing their shirt, is in one scene, Derek, the nicest Dude Bro in Delta Pi, is walking outside to the shed. And as he walks through a door, I think it's a sweater.
It's a sweater.
Gets caught on the door and tears. So then it's just a
crop top.
A crop top in the most like egregiously oops, I'm a klutzy girl kind of way.
It's so funny.
And yeah, that's a major thing throughout this movie, and it I think more than anything really ties together this whole theme of, oh, this is totally a spoof of like Slumber Party Massacre or something like that.
There's also a surprising amount of dude ass. And
is there?
Vague
There
dong.
is one.
There's two.
Oh, is there two?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
When Sizzler
getting the paddle.
Sizzler gets spanked a lot. Like, and I was surprised at how long that lasted.
Only one sequence.
It's probably like a 2-minute long spanking scene.
No, not that long. Maybe 30 seconds.
No, it's longer than I expected, and I was surprised.
But yeah, they're just over-sexualized. It's very funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, with that being said, though, I don't know what else to talk about here.
I'll be honest, I don't either, because we've covered everything I want to talk about. The only thing left that I want to talk about is the gore and like blood and guts and stuff.
I think that's a good one. It looks good.
It's not bad,
but it also looks cheap.
And that is what I was going to say is it is cheap but so effective because of the style of film I'm watching.
Yeah.
That it's so fucking fun.
Like it looks
ridiculous.
Like something you would see in Hatchet, I don't know.
Hatchet 3?
3?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very Hatchet 3.
Where it's like you can tell like that organ is a fake organ.
Yeah.
But it still looks really good, especially with all the blood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's further amplified by, once again, the really shitty filter that's put over this whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes that work.
Like,
it's, again, the Hatchet kind of thing.
I feel like I'm a kid in the early 2000s who just flipped on the TV at a random hour in the middle of the night and am watching whatever horror movie is on.
I don't know. This sounds more like you found a bootleg VHS in your cousin's.
It's so awful but awesome at the same time.
Honestly, it feels like something that plays on Adult Swim at 4 a.m.
Yes, on God.
Like, did you ever watch?
It's almost like Robot Chicken-esque.
Ooh, I was gonna say, did you ever watch Too Many Cooks?
I did not watch Too Many Cooks.
Feels like that a little bit. Just so all over the place. Since we brought up gore, though, the other thing to mention here is a lot of the special effects look very similar to the gore in that they are kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But they work with the film. There's a couple shots of some really shitty green screen stuff.
Yeah.
At one point, Buttiker and Officer Sminkle are flying through the sky
for no reason.
For no reason. Well, they were in a car crash. They're flying through the sky, and it's very obvious, like, cheap photo stock background.
Yeah.
And that's funny. And then we see 2 ragdolls fall into a pond. And I've seen the behind the scenes for those ragdolls. They are just like wooden mannequins made out of like pieces of timber and rope that they tied together at like the
at the
joints and then put in clothes and then threw them in a puddle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of like other shitty effect stuff. At one point in the movie there is a animation thing that pops up on the screen.
God. Multiple times.
Out of nowhere, and it's just like, all right.
It's not out of nowhere. It's related.
Well, it's related to the movie, but it's like,
why is this animated?
Yeah, I think we get 30 minutes in, and the first one happens.
Yep.
And you were like, wait, what did you say?
I don't even remember.
Something stupid.
Hey, I probably said something around you hear in the outtakes. I go, what is going on constantly?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, the thing I'm trying to say is, for how what the fuck this movie is and just how nonsensical the premise and the plot is, it really is tied together with a lot of passion. Like, you can tell the crew worked really hard on it and really put their all into stretching that budget. Yeah. I mean, this film is very impressive for how much money went into it.
Yeah.
It feels like a cheap film, like purposely.
That's
like I watched this and I was like, this feels really cheap, but objectively, they did a great job with making their budget go far. And I
mean, because there's so much extra little stuff added in a bunch of different places.
So much. And there's really, really too much to talk about with just, they went the distance. There's a whole diorama mini.
Yeah, that shit's cool.
Of Old Parchtown.
Yeah. Fucking Old Parchtown.
It's underwater now.
It's underwater.
But there's a whole like dramatic sequence with like corpses rising out of Old Parchtown after the Dude Bros like flooded it. It's just, this movie's wild. I love it. It's a lot of fun.
It's fucking insane.
If you don't have anything else to say though, I think we can just do recommendations, man. Cause
yeah,
I mean, honestly,
I can move on. We can do recommendations. I don't have anything else to say either. Cause I don't really have anything. Just go watch it.
It's an experience.
Just go watch it.
If you want to watch it, I said this at the beginning, it's kind of hard to find, but they have video on demand or video download, whatever you want to call it, on their website for this movie. So Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.com, I think is what it is. But just look up Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 and you can find the website pretty easy. You can like buy a copy of the download there, or you can find Blu-rays there, and I think there's still Blu-rays on Amazon if you want to buy them that way. But yeah, I'd recommend you pick it up because it's a lot of fun, especially if you like beat trauma kind of stuff.
Oh my god!
But yeah, go ahead and do your recommendation.
If you want a movie that you can watch with friends, this is a great movie for like just putting on with a bunch of friends who are into nonsensical bullshit.
Oh yeah,
like this is a fantastic movie to watch with a bunch of people because there's just so much going on that you're constantly able to talk about something else that's happening in the film, and it's really good for that kind of thing. If you like shitty, like spoofy B horror movies, holy shit! If I got a movie for you, it's this one. This movie's fucking ridiculous. It's so fun and insane, and it gives me everything I want from a shitty B horror movie while also being not too serious. Because like sometimes you watch a shitty B horror movie and it's too serious and it doesn't really work. This movie is so lighthearted and fun that it works perfectly. I think that's it. I don't have anything else. This movie's great.
Okay, for me, I think right off the bat, if you like cheesy kind of B movies, maybe the so bad it's good style of film, this is right up your alley. It's a lot of shitty nonsense and just like what the fuck jokes, but it's a lot of fun. In fact, sometimes it reminds me of like Monty Python. Like there's straight up
absolutely
holy
shit
subtitle joke.
There are multiple subtitles
that comes up twice. That's so out of nowhere, but I was like, that's so Monty Python.
Absolutely it is. Holy shit, I hadn't thought about it.
Reminds me of the opening of Holy Grail.
Yep.
With the llamas.
Exactly.
So yeah, if that stuff's your thing, check it out for that. If you're a fan of horror movies, there is a lot of references in here to horror. I think I said this earlier, but they're just hard to catch sometimes. But there's 100% one of the kills is a reference to one of the most ludicrous kills in the Nightmare on Elm Street saga. There's
almost a Friday the 13th reference.
Friday the 13th reference. There's obviously a Leatherface one with Motherface.
Yeah.
We've talked about the Massacre franchise, how that's basically what this film's a parody of. Just a ton of little things spread throughout. But since they're so coded in bullshit, they're hard to catch sometimes.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I think my last really big recommendation is if you're a fan of like the 5-second films, guys, and haven't seen this, even though this is like their feature-length film, highly recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun. And if you're already a fan of them, probably a bigger deal for you. Hell, if you're on YouTube, you might want to check this out because there's people you know from there. A bunch of the guys from the old Cracked videos are on here. With that being said, though, that's all I got for recommendations. Bob, rate it.
Okay, objectively, this movie is absolute ass, but it's really fun.
Oh, yeah, it's so much fun.
It's so much fun, and they did such a good job making an absolutely ludicrous film so palatable and funny and enjoyable.
It's in art form making this much nonsense.
That's
enjoyable.
what I was about to say. Is like there's so much bullshit, but they do such a good job of containing it and bringing it back around for continual jokes and like making it all sort of make sense and feel not real, but within universe almost. Like it's contained within itself, but it's also so expansive and ridiculous that it's stupid.
Yeah, it's hard to make a bunch of completely unrelated scenes work together in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's so funny and absurd. I love it. I won't give it a 5 because it's not like a cinematic masterpiece.
It's
even though I like
not.
it a lot.
Sadly.
And I don't think you could make a film like this and make it a 5. Like, I think that's actually impossible.
Yeah, I do have to agree.
Because
this probably gets as close as you can.
This is so close because every single joke makes sense once you have context and everything comes back around.
There's a lot of jokes watching this a second or third time that also hit different.
Really?
Like, for instance, when Buttiker gets resuscitated.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
There it is, Bob.
That's fucking ridiculous. See, look, it just gets better. 4.
4?
4.
Yeah.
I gotta, it's so good. Like, if you're a fan of this style of film, I cannot recommend it more.
For me, I think I'm in the same boat as Bob, where it's like, I can't give this a 5. I think this is really, really fun, and I think it's a really great movie, but it's too nonsensical, I think, to get rated that high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can have a comedic movie, I think, rate that high, but there's almost too much nonsense. Not that that takes away from this film, but it keeps it from being, like, perfect in a way, even if it's as perfect as I think this style of film can be. With that being said, I think this film does such a great job. Like, it is basically art to do so much bullshit and make it work like this, especially on purpose. Doing it by accident, that can happen. On purpose, though,
it's difficult.
That's a whole different ballpark. Additionally, like I was just telling Bob, there's stuff in here that hits on, like, rewatch that you could notice having seen the film a couple times and be like, oh my God, I just saw that. How did I not notice that before? And so I think I'm going to do something I don't normally do and rate it higher than Bob with a 4.5.
Damn. That's crazy.
I think this film really does take the thing it was going for and take it as high as it possibly could.
No, yeah, I think you're right.
And so I don't think I can rate it a 4 because I don't think it can do better at all. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
On that note, though, I guess we're going to go to the outtakes. I'm not sure what we'll have.
I don't know what's going to be in there at this point.
We lost them again.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I swear there was 40 outtakes that were just Bob cracking up or just going, what is happening?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how many things are going to be good.
Yeah, I'll find something. I'll figure it out.
With that being said, we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in a minute. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the outtake section for this episode of Beware the Board. I hope you're enjoying our review of Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. I like this film. I think it's a really, really good time. So, without further ado, let's get into the outtakes. This first clip is our reaction to a surprise ad in the middle of the film. There's an ad?
Yeah, because
Pizza goblins? What the fuck? This next clip is me being confused by how ridiculous and stupid this movie is. Hold on.
no girls allowed.
Is it... Was he wearing what she was wearing?
No, that was Samantha.
That was not Samantha.
Samantha showed up.
That was not Samantha. What is happening?
Do you know who that is?
This next clip is our reaction to the ruins of Old Parchtown. What is happening now? What is going on in this movie? Every time I don't understand. Oh, it's Parchtown.
It's the ruins of Old Parchtown.
I thought we were over this bit.
No, what do you think the lake is?
No, I know. Oh, it's the original Patty's paddle boats. That's cool.
That's where his family is.
Oh, they did this with minis, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking rad, honestly.
See, it's his family.
Oh my god. They've been released. Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the outtakes. Whatever the hell I put in there is probably funny, hopefully.
Maybe cricket noises.
No, there's no way. There was too many. I'm gonna have to go through and find some. There's definitely some fucking hilarious shit in there. Do we have any announcements? Ben.
Nope. So check us out on Fridays when we do our normal episodes. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other places on the internet. That includes YouTube, which is kind of nice because you can show us some support there. You can do that with subscriptions, likes, stuff like that. It's also kind of nice because there's two handy tools on it. There's the bell button, which you can flick to get notifications whenever we post something a little random that isn't our Friday content, like this here birthday episode. Or there's also a search bar button on our YouTube channel. So if there's a movie you want to know if we've reviewed at any point, or just know what episode that is, so maybe you can go over to Spotify and listen to it there, you can search that up, and it'll pop up because we put the name of the movies in our episode titles. Aside from that, YouTube's one of the two major places you can communicate with us at. You can do that in the comment section of a specific video, or you can go over to Twitter at Beware the Board and go talk to Burger Bro.
Don't fucking call me Burger Bro. I swear to God, I'll lose my shit. It's not funny, Ben.
See if we can arrange a party.
No.
Maybe a massacre.
Like Ben said, check us out on Twitter at Beware the Board. It's where I post updates about the show, information about the show. Basically, if there's anything you want to know about the show, it all goes on our Twitter. On Mondays, I post a spoiler post for that Friday's episode, which is basically a hidden movie cover that you can reveal so you can see what the movie is before we watch it. So that when we release the episodes, you don't get any spoilers, and when we're being vague about stuff, you kind of know what we're talking about. Then on Fridays, or whenever the episode goes live, I always post a link to the episode with maybe a meme if something's funny. So if you ever miss an upload or want to know when something went up, there's always a link on our Twitter. Last thing, we do short form content over on Beware the Board on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. So if you're into short form content and like the show, check us out there. I think that's it.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, see you guys next time.